ESPN, just stop it. You stop it now.
That stuff out of here. It's Southwest Bias.
Welcome into Southwest Bias, live from Studio K, brought to you by our friends at Circle K. Become a member of the Inner Circle today. It's Friday. That's right. We're going to have a little fun on this Friday. And we're going to start by talking about ESPN. Those dirty, rotten, can I say the word bastards? I said the word bastards, all right? They're ruining things for Arizona sports fans. And I'm not just talking about Screaming A. Smith and Kendrick Perkins and the slop they're trying to feed us on some of those shows. That doesn't help. But I'm talking about their new direct-to-consumer streaming app. They're playing this up like it's the greatest thing for sports fans. Like it's exactly what we all wanted and we needed. Like it is the answer to everything that we've looked for. Well, no, the answer to everything we've looked for is just giving us the old Sports Center back, but that's neither here nor there. First, they bought all the NFL properties, right? And got the NFL to invest in ESPN. The NFL now owns 10% of ESPN. So say goodbye to any real reporting is what I'm guessing when it comes to the NFL. But that's not the biggest issue. The biggest issue is it bought NFL Red Zone and NFL Network, which means now if you want Red Zone, you're going to have to purchase the ESPN app, which is $29.99 a month, and then pay an extra fee to have Red Zone within the ESPN app. Sure, you're still going to be able to get it via cable providers, but who the hell has cable anymore? So they're also talking about getting rid of commercial-free football. So when you're sitting there on your Sunday, you're not going to get commercial-free football anymore. You can get commercial-packed football starting next season. And then any game that's on the NFL Network, you know, if the Cardinals are playing there or if any Cardinals content, we got ESPN app is going to be a place where you're going to get it. But that's not the biggest thing. This was announced yesterday that Derek Montilla tweeted from the D-backs account. Andrew Marchand of The Athletic reported it, one of the great sports media reporters, that ESPN has also agreed to purchase MLB.TV and that 5 teams who are produced by Major League Baseball right now will have their games exclusively through the ESPN app in terms of streaming. So you're going to have to pay the $29.99 and then, according to this report, pay an additional fee to be able to stream Diamondbacks games. Sure, they'll still be available on DirecTV in those places, but if you are a cord cutter and you want Diamondbacks baseball, you now have to pay for the ESPN app on top of paying for Diamondbacks baseball. That's not to mention trying to figure out how to watch these games. Plus, Big 12 games are now on a streaming platform, not just ESPN. But this is all difficult. This makes it tougher for sports fans to watch the teams that they want, for sports fans to get their Diamondbacks games, for sports fans to see what they're hoping. And guess what? There will be NBA games, not any Suns games this year on ABC and ESPN. And you'll also be able to get those through the ESPN app. We all thought cord cutting was a big deal, that it was going to be the savior of all of us as sports fans because we were going to get a pick a la carte. But guess what? We somehow managed to back ourselves into a more expensive, more convoluted corner where it's tougher to afford games and tougher to figure out where the hell to watch them. And ESPN is adding to that tab with their new app and with their new purchases. And mark my words, it would not shock me if they bought NBA TV in the not too distant future because Turner currently runs it. Well, Turner's not in bed with the league anymore. So I'm guessing that property will be up for sale, as well as future streaming rights eventually also. This is the future of sports. We hated pay-per-view back in the day, and we're starting to get back to pay-per-view within apps. This is where we are. And ESPN is making it tougher to be a sports fan in general, and in particular an Arizona sports fan with the Diamondbacks. This is the world we live in. And I understand that corporate America is about making money. And innovation includes these apps winding up streaming these games. But I've got to give kudos to the Phoenix Suns, who said, you know what? We'll have our streaming app, but we're going to make games free for everyone that lives in the Phoenix area. If you can get an antenna on your house, you can get Suns games for free and Mercury games for free. And I'll give the Diamondbacks a little bit of credit. I think like 10 or 12 of their games are on Channel 12, 12 News, and I applaud them for that. But the rest of these, you're going to have to find ways to pay for it, in particular in the ESPN app. I wish more teams would do what the Suns are doing. I wish college sports was back to that. Now, you get a lot of games on over-the-air television still, but I wish there were cheaper ways to enjoy the things that give us the most pleasure when it comes to being a sports fan. It gives us a lot of pain as well, but I really, really wish there was a more simple answer like the Suns have created for Suns fans than the convoluted answer that we're about to get with Major League Baseball. ESPN is slowly helping ruin things for Arizona sports fans, but maybe that's just my Southwest bias. We welcome in the mustache behind the Mac, who is doing double duty today, getting ready for the ASU show, but I'm going to interrupt him anyways. Shane, how are you, my friend?
I'm fantastic. How are you doing, Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. I'm all right. Like, I got excited for this ESPN app at first. Because like, oh, maybe I'll drop my YouTube TV. I'll just have ESPN. And then I was looking at it, and I'm like, no, I'm trapped in this cul-de-sac. It's the same thing as what we were dealing with, right? And it's a lot of money. You start looking at this. I gotta have Disney Plus or the ESPN app to get NBA games. I need to have Peacock. I need to have HBO Max for some baseball games. Like, you just go down the list, and all of a sudden you've just got to continue to pay on top of pay to watch these games.
Yeah, it is very silly. Like, the whole streaming era is so bizarre to me, because you want to be completely online to watch stuff. You want to be you're not cord cutted, but I've also long since said we don't have the infrastructure in public Wi-Fi to be able to even do that by itself yet. So I don't know, man. It's such a bizarre world.
I just want an option that doesn't cost me an arm and a leg to watch teams. The NBA now has 7 days worth of national games. Every day of the week has a different national game. Some on Peacock, some on Amazon Prime, some on ESPN. It's getting more and more convoluted, and it's difficult. And I'm not a huge fan of it because I'm cheap.
Yep.
That's what it comes down to. I grew up in a household where we didn't even pay for cable because my dad was a CFO, was an accountant, and was not a guy that liked to spend frivolously. So I didn't even have cable growing up. And my savior was Channel 45 for Suns games and Channel 3 and 61 for Diamondbacks games. Like, that was the way that I stayed connected to teams, or listening to Al McCoy. So we will see. Shaft says, Espo, I say that fans should unite and avoid going to games and charge team owners to stream fans. Sure, they did it. They did it in the bubble. Remember, they had the fans streamed in. Yeah, you should pay us to watch sports. We'll see how fast that doesn't work on our front. So we'll see how this digital revolution in paying for sports works. But yeah, congratulations to the Suns for at least keeping it a little bit easier on all of us. It is a Friday, and I want to start something new on this fine Friday. Every week, I'm going to name and we're workshopping the title, but I'm going to call it a winner of the week right now. You're going to have bronze, silver, and gold. I know, revolutionary. This is new kind of thinking here. And I will tell you, maybe sometimes it'll be sarcastic, sometimes it'll be truthful, and sometimes it'll just be off the wall. Honorable mention, all of us that watch television, because Nick Cage is going to be in the next season of I'm blanking on the show, True Detective. Thank you. He'll be starring in the next season of it, so we all win there. So that is,
wow, that's special.
That's honorable mention there. But bronze, Sean Larkin, the third base coach for the Diamondbacks. You're probably thinking the dude lost his job. Why is that a win this week? Because he doesn't have to deal with any of us complaining about the job that he was doing anymore. He does not have to deal with any of that. Plus, he doesn't have to deal with the stress of trying to decide, is he holding that runner or waving him in, and what the hell's going to happen next? Because it was an adventure every time he did it. So Sean Larkin gets the bronze. The silver this week is Alyssa Thomas, averaging 16.3 points, 10 rebounds, and 8.3 assists for the Mercury on the week. Had another triple-double against Seattle. The team struggled a little bit, but she has had a hell of a run right now, and she's going to win silver. But my gold this week, the Ketel Marte drama was a lot. There was a lot of opinions flying around, and some, as we talked about, were not exactly valid. But one opinion that I think we all share is Geraldo Perdomo, really kind of won the week by defending his teammate, by being there and having his back, by standing up and saying, knock it the hell off. This guy just wants to play baseball. And that's the kind of guy that sets the tone in a locker room. That's the kind of guy that makes everybody feel a little bit better because you know he has your back. I wish we all had somebody like that would stand up for you. In some of our cases, it's our spouse. Mrs. Espo does that all the time for me. There's a lot of people that could be that. Could be a sibling or a parent. Could be your best friend that does it. Could be a coworker. Not my case, but it could be a coworker for some of you. And what Perdomo did was the epitome of being a good leader. You stand up for those that are around you, especially when you feel that they've been wronged. So shout out to him. He is our winner of the week. Chris in the chat says, I have your back, Espo. I thought we were frenemies. So do I trust it or do I believe it? I don't know. So that is our winner of the week. If you've got nominations for next week, hit me up. You can tweet me at Espo. If you're in our Discord as a diehard, you can throw it in there. Members of the Biased in the chat. You can give us your nominees for winners of the week as well. Coming up on the other side, Johnny Venerable, the best analyst that happens to call PHNX home, named Johnny, will join us to talk about Cardinals Raiders, which, we all know is basically a throwaway. But who's going to make this roster and more? Coming up right after this on Southwest Bias. Oh, we've got to tell you about our friends at All Pro Shade Concepts. They took care of Casa de Espo by giving us an unbelievable drop-down shade that's electric. I push a button, and all of a sudden, I got shade in that kitchen, and it is unbelievable. It has saved us the hassle of having it be 3 or 4 degrees hotter in our kitchen. I forgot to put it down the other day. I walked in the house right by our sliding glass door, and it was sweltering. It was disgustingly hot right there. But then next day I made sure it was down, and it was so much cooler. You're going to want this. It's the best material, the best service, and the best shade that you can get for your house. And you can do that with our friends at All Pro Shade Concepts. They've been doing it for 20 years, and they're voted #1 by Ranking Arizona. Plus, they have over 1,000 5-star ratings. So call 623-204-1476 or visit allproshadeconcepts.com to get your free estimate today. And then we've got a new sponsor that we're welcoming into the family. It is Rally House. I don't know if you've ever been to Rally House. They've got them. They've been popping up all around the valley. We got one in Gilbert near me, Tempe at Tempe Marketplace, one out in Glendale. They're the go-to shop for all your favorite local Arizona team gear. You got a team that you're looking for a jersey, a hat, whatever the case may be, Rally House has got you covered. You're going to want to be there. I've been a lot of places looking for sports merch and looking for unique things. And I can't find them a lot of places. But when I go to Rally House, I always find it. And I find things I've never seen. And you know me, I'm addicted to the internet and I'm addicted to hats and trying to find gear to wear. Well, they have it because they've got all your game day needs. Hats, they have them. Jerseys, the best selection. Drinkware, signage, coolers, socks, even sunscreen. You need team branded sunscreen. They got you covered. So every time you visit a Rally House, you're guaranteed to find something new, unique that matches your game day vibe. Find your local Rally House location and shop their entire product assortment online at rallyhouse.com. And our friends Johnny and Bo soon are going to actually be out at a Rally House doing a live remote out there. So we'll keep you updated on that. I mentioned Johnny because he's waiting in the wings.
Before we bring him in, I just want to give a disclaimer. Johnny looks very handsome today.
Oh, Johnny looking handsome. That is a big round of applause from our Shane Diefenbach calling Johnny handsome. I won't be as kind, but Johnny, how are you? Ooh, we got a new set going on? Apparently we don't have a mic turned on. This man does this every day. He calls in to his program, trying to turn on his mic and gets it ready and gets it done.
Oh, James.
But then he comes on my program and it's like, hey, the boss asked me to come on the show. And
he's doing this on purpose.
And he can't get the mic going.
He's doing this on purpose.
Who does he think he is, Matt Ishbia?
Johnny Venerable.
No, but Johnny Venerable thinking he's Matt Ishbia and not having his mic ready. I could sit here and talk Cardinals Raiders by myself. There's nothing to talk about. The Raiders are going to play the starters, and the Cardinals aren't going to play their starters. And we
Bring
know
me
that.
back.
I feel like that's.
Can you hear me now? You got me?
I got you. You got a new set there? Are you messing with things?
Yeah. Sorry about this extremely exaggerated build out that I'm doing. That's going to be first class. Sorry, a little technical difficulties here as we get things situated. This is just part of the moving process.
Hey, I'm going to tell you this, Johnny. We had Billionaire Sons owner Matt Ishbia on last week, and he had the same problem. So, mo money, mo problems. No, you can be even poor and not be able to figure out how to work your mic.
You just call Johnny poor?
Well, I mean,
that's what I got. Johnny, is that what you got?
We all work in media. Yeah.
If I'm poor, whose fault is that, Espo? That's
hey, look. Let me say this: compared to Matt Ishbia, we're all poor. All right,
for sure.
All right. Let's talk a little Cardinals Raiders. Is that everything? We done with that? Cardinals not playing their starters. Raiders are going to play their starters. How are you feeling about it?
I don't like it. Not only because I have to endure potentially 4 more quarters of Clayton Tune on Saturday night. It's just there's no benefit to this. There's no benefit to any of the young skill players that are trying to make the team. There's no benefit to your fan base that you're trying to get enthused about this regular season. Like that, the fans weren't at the joint practice in Denver, which was solid. They did a solid time. Like the last time your fans have seen you, Kyler Murray threw a pick in the red zone, and just I think Kyler's going to have a good year. But like, my goodness, let's get some mojo going. Let's get people fired up. And it's again, they are in a position where had they finished strong last year, and I said this on yesterday's show, Espo. They could have done whatever they wanted this preseason. They could have screwed around and, gone to a water park and gone to Six Flags. And they could have done whatever they wanted because you would have had buy-in, right? The unfortunate part of this now is, and we're in the last period of this, by the way, is you're in a limbo position with a quarterback that I love that needs to perform this year, a head coach that I love that needs to perform this year. And if they don't, then there will be changes next year. If Kyler Murray is gone, they're going to have a rookie quarterback. He'll play the entire preseason. We won't have this conversation. If Kyler Murray plays well, guess what? We're running this back next year. We're in the limbo period of deciphering what works and what doesn't work. I'm going to tell you what doesn't work, though. 4 quarters of Clayton Tune Saturday night. That doesn't work for anybody.
No, I feel bad for the fans and anybody that has to watch it, even those paid to watch it. But I also feel bad for anybody on that offense that's trying to make this roster because – that puts you at a handicap. I'm just going to be honest, right? You're not playing with Jacoby Brissett. You're not playing with Kyler Murray. You're playing with Clayton Tune, and I get it. He's trying to make the roster as well, so he wants his opportunity. But I think that hinders some of these guys on the fringe as well on the offensive side of the ball, because you're playing at a deficit. Even if you got Jacoby Brissett for a quarter or two thrown to some of these guys, or being part of the offense, I think that gives them a little bit better chance.
It also speaks to, and I agree with you, it also speaks to, like, you're playing into the narrative that this team, whether it was with Kyler or the backup or the backup's backup, is not going to have an evolved passing game this year. When I watched Tommy DeVito last night throw 3 touchdown passes with Brian Dable, and Jameis Winston and Jackson Dart look competent, and that's the New York Giants, Espo. Like, the Cardinals have had 3 years with this offensive philosophy structure in place, and they look like that last Saturday with Clayton Tune. And don't give me Drew Terrell was calling play, and the Broncos were playing guys that are going to be street free agents in 2 weeks. So I think you're a reflection of your roster, whomever you put out there. And again, like, yes, franchise quarterbacks are the elixir. They can make everything look better, but you can't look like that. You can't have 2 first downs by penalties in almost 4 quarters of football by Clayton Tune. You can't have 54 yards of offense. So for me, it's like, you know what? If this is what you're putting out there on Saturday night, I saw an influx of people saying, I've already sold my tickets. That's not what the vibe that you want. I don't care if it's for a preseason game. The last time that this franchise played competent football to begin the regular season was under Cliff Kingsbury. And that was in 2021. It's been almost half a decade since they've even gotten off to a strong start to begin a regular season. The pushback on injuries, and I don't care about that. I'm over that. Other teams are playing their starters. Trey Lance is playing the entire game. I'm watching these backup court play the entire game. This is the NFL, man. If you were good enough to say injuries could derail our season, and you have the benefit of the doubt with that, then 100%. You haven't been this isn't Sean McVay yet. This isn't Matthew Stafford. Their preseason means nothing. Their training camp means nothing because they have the hardware to support it. I am disappointed after the announcement of playing in the first game that they initially ripped the rug out from under us for these next 2 games. And I think it's a bad reflection going into the regular season.
Yeah, and I don't know. If I paid for this and I heard that they essentially made season ticket holders pay full price for these 2 preseason games, I'd be asking for a refund if I'm watching 4 quarters of 3rd and 4th stringers come Saturday out there at State Farm Stadium. Let's shift gears, looking into what's going to happen after this game. Where are the position battles that you're looking at, and who do you think is on the bubble with this team and fighting for their Cardinals life?
I think the most robust position battles are on defense, with all due respect to, like, the 4th tackle spot on the offensive line between Christian Jones and Josh Fryer. The defensive side of the football has the most depth, and it has the most competition. I'm excited to watch that Saturday in part because it's not associated with Clayton Tune. Like, Elijah Simmons, undrafted nose tackle out of Tennessee's look good. What are they going to do with Justin Jones and Bilal Nichols? I've seen a lot of people push back. Well, you can't cut them because of their dead money. Don't talk to me about dead money in August and September. We're trying to win games here. I don't want to hear about it. They have $30+ million in available cap space. No one cares. Justin Jones hasn't practiced in 3 weeks. He's got a knee. Bilal Nichols hasn't practiced this entire offseason. I don't want to see them on the team. And then you look at the off-ball linebacker spot. It's the antithesis of what Steve Keim would have done. The Arizona Cardinals are basically saying, we want to play this position the least amount as possible. Mack Wilson Sr. is going to have a great year. He's going to put up crooked numbers for the position. Everything after that, it's like, outside of injury, like, we'll let you know when we need you. Owen Pappo probably is the odd man out. I don't think you can carry 4 off-ball linebackers. Cody Simon, who had a really good OTA period at rookie 4th rounder out of Ohio State, like, has not seized it in training camp, which is disappointing. It had a really rough showing in Denver. Keem Davis-Gaither is fine. Like, they want to run single linebackers, and then they want to bring Budda Baker up to the line of scrimmage. So speaking of the secondary, Keaton Crawford, who we've had in our studio, Espo, 7th rounder out of Nevada, formerly of Texas with Sark, has had a really nice preseason. And is that somebody that you can afford to let slip to your practice squad with the kind of tape he's put on? My guess is if the Cardinals cut him, there's a possibility he could get picked up by another team. How much do they love Joey Blunt, his ability to play special teams? And then at cornerback, Keitrell Clark has been a mainstay of this cornerback room, albeit, toward the back end of the depth chart since Gannon got here. I think his time's about up. I think the Cardinals feel like with the influx of elite talent that they've brought in from Max Melton, Garrett Williams, Will Johnson, Denzel Burke, a rookie 5th rounder from Ohio State, they've all looked good. So it's like for Keitrell, I think it's probably time for him to maybe look for another opportunity elsewhere.
You've been extremely bullish on this team this offseason. Yeah, you haven't hid that in any way, shape, or form. Are you still feeling bullish about what they're going to be able to accomplish and where this is heading as we are 2 weeks away from the regular season?
Fanboy?
Yeah, big time fanboy vibes here. Here's what I'll tell you. Am I as enthusiastic as I was like a month ago? No. I have legitimate concerns about this passing game. Bo's been at every practice. I've been at 10 plus training camp practices. We were in Denver. I've watched every snap of the preseason. God help me. I think that the evolution of this offense is TBD. Looks like last year's offense. And I started doing a little bit of a deep dive this week. Like they were 2-8 versus winning teams last year, and the offense averaged 18 points per game in those games. The defense is fine. The defense is going to be good, be really good. I rewatched the Vikings game from last year. The defense was outstanding. The offense was awful. They had about 6 red zone possessions and 1 touchdown. And the defense collapsed at the end because they were on the field too long. I am concerned that unless Drew Petzing is able to find something that I have not seen consistently displayed at camp, that it's going to be much of the same. Marvin is infinitely better. He's a priority. Maybe that's enough. Bo Brock on our daily show seems to believe that is enough, that Marv and Trey getting theirs will be enough for this team to get to 10, 11, 12 wins. I am disappointed that as we sit here, this passing game to me still looks uneven. Now, with that being said, the schedule is so soft to begin the year. I think they're going to start 6-2, 7-1, 5-3, and be in a position to kind of ride that and maybe work out some additional kinks. But it would have gone a long way for me for Kyler Murray to put the ball in the end zone. The red zone offense is still not good. They couldn't do it against Kansas City. Denver was hit or miss. Even just for vibes, we're all about vibes here at PHNX Sports. Put Kyler Murray out there on Saturday night and vibe it up and score a touchdown and then do this. I know that's for me. That's not for the team. They feel like they don't need it, but I have concerns about this passing game still.
Concerns in terms of Drew Petzing calling it or in Kyler Murray throwing the rock, or is it both?
Both. I mean, it's not the skill players. They have Michael Wilson is so underutilized. Zay Jones has had a great camp. There's just this right now happening. And like I watched Russell Wilson with his rag arm with the Giants still throw a beautiful deep ball. I'm like, why? Where is that in Arizona? Why isn't that a priority? Maybe it will be. Maybe they're fooling us all and I'll have egg on my face. I hope that happens. But this offense looks the same as last year with a better version of Marvin Harrison Jr.
You're going to be in New Orleans. You have to see that first week, them throwing the rock and going deep and doing those kind of things for you to have faith. If they come out with the same kind of vanilla approach, I mean, how concerned are you going to be even after the preseason and into that game one?
Listen, I'll never apologize for wins with this franchise. That being said, and I've told Bo this many times, you have to style points matter. Crooked numbers matter. Like, will anybody feel good if they go to New Orleans and they win like 21-3 and Kyler throws for about $120 and a touchdown? No one's going to feel good about that. I won't feel good about it because that's not sustainable. I want to see this team go out there and put up 3 touchdowns through the air and a bunch of robust yards, and for the defense, of course, to dominate, force turnovers. But like, we're going to be able to tell like the optics of this. Is this an offense that can go toe-to-toe with the Packers after getting boat raced last year? Is this an offense that can put up, God forbid, 20-plus points against Seattle when they were dog walked by the Seahawks twice last year? I don't have an answer for you yet. I'm hopeful. I know the run game's going to be good. Guess what? It's been good for the last 2 years. It's not enough. You have to be able to throw the ball vertically. And that's exactly why, look at Seattle. They ditched Geno Smith and said, we got to be better. We won 10 games last year. We're shipping everybody out. Like the Cardinals took the opposite approach. They're like, we're running it back. I hope it wasn't a mistake.
Well, we will find out. He is Johnny Venerable. You can follow him at Johnny Venerable. You can watch him on PHNX Cardinals today at 4:30 and pre and post game tomorrow for the Raiders game. Johnny, always a pleasure.
See you, my guys.
That is another edition of Southwest Bias in the books. For the mustache behind the Mac, Shane Diefenbach. You can follow him at Shane Dief. You can follow the show at PHNX_sports. You can follow me at Aspo. And remember, ESPN's the devil, and the Cardinals should be starting, guys. Ahoy, hoy.
We all silly like the mayor.